Hi, I'm Gary Nolan, and this is the Missouri Bucket List. If you're looking for fun places to visit, unique restaurants, and local businesses, this is the show for you. No need to travel outside of Missouri to find fun places to see. They're right here in your backyard and ought to be on your bucket list. Missouri Bucket List is brought to you by your local Missouri Credit Union. Why put up with expensive fees at regular banks when you don't have to? You'll enjoy nationwide access to ATMs, easier to find than ATMs at the national banks, credit cards, home and auto loans, and the friendliest service. And by your local Chamber of Commerce, they support local businesses, and local businesses support you. We start this week in Columbia, Missouri. If you're into nature, you'll love Rockbridge State Park. At Rockbridge Memorial State Park, you can hike and bicycle through a 2,273-acre bucolic wonderland and do some splunking. You'll find some of the most popular hiking trails in the entire state of Missouri at Rockbridge State Park. You can also see a large cave system with its rock bridge, sinkholes, a spring, and an underground stream at the Devil's Icebox. The park was founded in 1967, and it's named for the naturally occurring rock bridge. Because of the area's unique topography called a karst, which, according to the National Park Service, is a type of landscape where the dissolving of the bedrock has created sinkholes, sinking streams, caves, and springs, you'll find endless wonders to explore and enjoy. The park is a memorial to a local child named Carol Storker, whose parents played a major role in raising funds to purchase the land for the park after her death in 1961.
All right, so now we're still in Columbia, Missouri. We're on Forum Boulevard at CC City Broiler. We're just south of Stadium. While you're in town, you want to get a bite to eat, this is the place to go. There is no better steak dinner, seafood. They even have vegetarian meals. Come on, let's get a bite to eat. So we're inside CC City Broiler with Dustin Nolan. He has, well, you got to tell me the history of this place. Scott Cleaton, I think, was the first. No, he was the second generation, right?
Well, yeah, technically his parents started CC Sawyer's in Moberly, Missouri whenever they moved here from California, and then he opened up CC City Broiler in 1995 in downtown in the old Greyhound bus station. It's no longer here, but
CC still is, and it's fabulous steak. They've got terrific seafood, and they've even got vegetarian meals. Incredible salad. What makes this different is you guys don't use a gas grill.
No, we cook over a live oak fire, which is just kind of almost an art in and of itself. You got to watch the wood and different hot spots and whatnot, and in addition to cooking the steaks on top of it. But it just puts a really nice sear onto the steaks that you just really can't get with a traditional gas stove.
So what is in that butter mixture I see you spreading on the steaks?
Butter, garlic, and really I can't tell you anything more than that, you know.
Okay. And the shaker, what's in that?
That's our house seasoning that we've been using ever since Scott started the place. But yet again, you know, sort of a secret.
You got more secrets than the CIA, you know that.
Yeah, we got to keep what we do, you know, kind of proprietary to us. So.
All right, well, it's fabulous steak, it's fabulous seafood. While you're in town, you want to stop by CC City Broiler. We're going to watch him cook a steak, and then we're going to eat. This is a Wagyu steak.
Yes, it's American Wagyu.
And it's really tender.
Yep.
And beautifully marbled.
Yes. We tend to go with grain fed just because that's where you get the marbling going on, and that's where you get just all the flavor.
So I watched them last night. They're raising and lowering the grill and throwing lumber in there, and flavor is just fabulous. So how long does it take to grill one of these? I mean, that is a monster.
It just really depends. If you're going to like a rare and medium rare, I mean, I probably have this done in about 8 or 9 minutes on that. But
well, it just happens. I've got 8 or 9 minutes.
This just sears so fast. It's way, way hotter than a gas grill. So that's where you're going to get a lot of that flavor from, and the ability just to sear the outside.
Well, let's see you do your magic.
All right. Just going to adjust my fire a little bit.
I can feel the heat back here. You can see the sparks flying. By the way, you can watch him through the same window that we're watching him through when you come to CC's.
And that's one of the fun parts of the experience too, is people actually can see.
so you take some, there's that magical seasoning. And you put some butter on there, is that?
Yep. It's our grilled butter, and it's got a couple things in there that I can't tell you about either. Typically, we'll start it off in the really, really hot area just so we get a nice crust that locks in the juices and the fat as it starts to melt. And then we'll move it out to the cooler side, let it kind of rest a little bit before we end up serving it, just so it's some nice, even temperature for you.
That salad is a work of art. Look at that presentation. That is fabulous. And it's crisp and fresh and snappy. And now we're going to taste the steak. Here comes the steak. And it's always delivered like that. Oh, man, look at that. That looks fabulous. I'm here with my buddy Bruce, and it's about time to dig in and try this steak with the casino butter. Oh, does that look good? You just want to savor all that flavor. So when you're in Columbia, come to CC City Broiler. What's great about Missouri is there are all kinds of people making all kinds of products. And if you're in retail, manufacturing, farming, whatever venture you're in, joining the Chamber of Commerce is a great way to network and to have some influence over your business. And one of those businesses in central Missouri, in the Columbia area, is the Super Belt. And with that, I want to bring in Ellis Bennis because he makes custom-made, virtually indestructible belts. I watched him make one. We'll watch him make one here too.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
Thanks for coming along. So tell me about this belt.
Absolutely. So the Super Belt is not leather. That's the number one thing that people don't think. They think leather of a belt, right? It's not. Leather is the old school, old way to do belts. The new method is our material called the Super Belt. The easiest way to think of it is essentially like a polymer material. So it's totally waterproof. It's got 1,500 pounds of tensile strength, so it's nearly unbreakable. And it's made in America. We don't want to have to wait for a shipping container to come over here from some other country, right? Made right here in the United States. And then I custom hand make every single one of these belts. So when I made your belt, I measured exactly to make sure it fit you. You didn't say, oh, I wear this size pants. No, we measure and I know I make it exactly the way you want. Then you choose hardware options, length of the tongue, how many holes you want. Whatever it is, I make it just for you. Leather is great for skin, right? That's what it is. It's skin. It absorbs moisture. It stretches. That's what we want skin to do. That's not what we want a belt to do. You want your belt to stay the exact same size no matter how long you own it. So the holes will never elongate. It's completely waterproof. It's antimicrobial. You just can't hurt the dang thing.
All right, so can you make a belt for us?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to.
All right.
So I'm just gonna bring this out here. First thing we do is we cut that tip. We also call this, the very tip is the tongue. Take this out for our English point. Then I bring it up here to my handy dandy tool that allows me to center line it so that I can get the holes exactly correct. We're doing 7 holes at 1-inch spacing on this order. We actually have the option to do 13 holes at 1/2-inch spacing, which no other material can do because it'd rip right through. But honestly, we've done all kinds of hole patterns. I've done holes the entire length of the belt for people before. I've done additional holes. We've also made it where somebody knows they're gonna lose weight. So instead of making the center hole of the measurement they do, we'll make that the second to last hole so they've got room to shrink. Got all my holes punched out of there. then I'll lay it in here. And this person, as they did on the website, they measured to get 35.5 inches. I've had people put in 37 3/8, whatever the measurement is that they give me, that is exactly where we're gonna put that buckle, because I wanna make sure that they get that belt custom made exactly the way they want it. Here we have the gunmetal gray hardware. This is our second most popular buckle. Our most popular buckle is my personal favorite, which is actually the stainless steel. But this gunmetal gray is the second most popular. I'm gonna line this up at the 35.5-inch mark. I'm gonna mark off where that's gonna go so I can actually punch out the oval slot. Going down here, line that up. Something interesting about these tools, they don't make tools specifically for the super belt material. All of these tools are made to be worked with leather. Ironically, I get about 1/10 the life out of my tools for leather that they do for leather, because this stuff is so much harder and so much stronger than leather is. So it's actually harder on my tools.
And yet it feels like leather to the touch.
One of the cool things too is, like you said, even if it's wet, it still maintains a really nice grip. So whatever it is, no matter how wet it gets, no matter what you soak it in, nothing, it doesn't matter, it's still got a really good grip to it. Here we're just punching in the end where we use Chicago screws to hold on the buckles. One of the nice things about that is also that because we use Chicago screws instead of, say, something that's permanently affixed like a rivet, our customers also have the option that they can swap out the buckle hardware. Some of my oldest customers, not that they are physically old, but that they ordered my belts a long time ago, even when we first started out, we had exactly one buckle style. Got my Chicago screws here. We always use a blue Loctite so that they don't back themselves out. On very rare occasions, I have had a few people actually request, and we do snaps. I don't like doing them very much simply because of the fact that a snap is not as strong as a permanently affixed Chicago screw is. But a lot of those guys that wear belt buckles, like some of us wear watches or any other form of jewelry, they like to be able to change those out. And so the snaps is one thing that they really like. Fold this over, clamp it in place. This is just a handy little tool since the Chicago screw has got a flat side on the opposite, so it's nice and smooth on the outside. This allows me to hold that as I'm screwing in that final Chicago screw on this side. This is something probably most people wouldn't ever notice, but one of the things I always pay attention to is I try to always make sure that the slot line of the screw are perfectly in line. It's just one of those little things that bugs me and probably that nobody else would ever notice. Ready to go in its packaging and ship out to its owner.
Missouri is an incredible place. And if you're interested in any of the products that we've talked about on the program today, go to our website, MissouriBucketList.com. Come to Columbia, Missouri, enjoy Rockbridge State Park, the miles of trails, the incredible cave. The Rock Bridge itself is worth the ride. Then have dinner at CC City Broiler. And if you're looking for the perfect Father's Day or Christmas or birthday or graduation gift, go to thesuperbelt.com and get a belt that will last a lifetime. If there's a location near you, a unique business, a unique restaurant, send us a message and we'll come out there too. Next week, we're in Kansas City on Missouri Bucket List.